Hello everyone, Bigger Reviews here. Two things. One, I guess I'm changing my videos release schedule to Sundays instead of Fridays because work. Two, babe, if you're watching this, hi, beautiful. Start digging your butt, twin.
Ew! Dude! What the
We are continuing the Call of Duty Zombie series, and this one I'm going to have to go based off memory, because it's been a minute since I've played. I think the last time I played was like 2019? So it's been a while, but not the point. The point of the matter is, there have been some ups and downs of the Call of Duty Zombies. Uphills. We're at Black Ops 3. I would say today's Zombies is probably the very tip of the mountain. It's only going to start going downhill from here. I figured I'd go ahead and forewarn you all that now. But, not the point. Today's video is on Infinite Warfare Zombies. Infinite Warfare Zombies is, in my opinion, the most interesting version of zombies that we have gotten. I must preface this by saying that we got a lot, and I mean a lot of content with this, with the amount of, I guess, maps that we got. So thankfully, there's only 5 maps to talk about. But there is a story behind it, which I hope they can continue, but I highly doubt that. Fucking Activision. This is stylized like a movie. Basically kind of like Left 4 Dead, but Call of Duty instead of Valve. And we have 4 individuals. Poindexter, who I think is voiced by Seth Green. I don't know who the other 3 are voiced by, but they'll be here somewhere. AJ, Sally, and Andre. These are our 4 characters that we play as through this entire game. Each map is set in a different time period. So, you'll see, it's cool. It's cool. Our announcer is a director named Willard Wyler, who, if you don't recognize his voice, it's Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens. Now, I don't know if many of you realize who Paul Reubens is, so I'm going to just preface this. He was Pee Wee Herman. If you don't know, Pee Wee Herman was a character back in, I think, the 80s, who had a show called Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yep. He later got arrested for, how can I put this for YouTube-friendly standards? Oh, he got arrested for, playing hide the cucumber with himself in an adult movie theater. Public knowledge, you can look this up. You know the PSAs? The ones where, Pee Wee Herman goes, it'll be played here, but the crack PSAs?
Crack.
It's because he was, playing hanky-panky with himself in an adult movie theater, but moving on, I digress. I do believe this was one of his last roles before he passed away. I think he died in, like, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty cool that I got him into a zombies mode before he died, I guess. Not the point. The point of the matter is, today's first map is on Zombies in Spaceland. This takes place in the 1980s theme park. It's obviously round-based like Treyarch's Zombies. It's got Pack-a-Punch, all that stuff. Some of the perks work similar to Treyarch's perks. So, we'll run through the quick, OG4. Up at Adams, quick revive. You get 3 and then you can't buy anymore. Tough Enough, that's Jug. It gives you more health. Quickies, Speed Cola, and Bang Bangs, which is Double Tap 2.0, not 1.0. And then, you have Mule Munchies, which is Mule Kick, Blue Bolts, which is Electric Cherry, and Bomb Stoppers, which is PhD. The 2 new ones, I do believe, are Racing Stripes, which you basically it's PhD Slider. It's PhD Slider. And Slappy Taffy, which we'll get to, it's basically like a perk. It's a predecessor to a perk we will get once we review Black Ops 6 Zombies. But yeah, those are our 10 main perks that we get throughout the entire life cycle. 2 more are coming, but those will be talked about when we get to those maps. Oh yes, I have to talk about the special round. So the special round, each singular map has a different special round except for Beasts of Beyond, but we'll get to that. Every single map has a special round dedicated to the theme of the map. So, this map's theme, because it's a theme park, is clowns. Explosive, zombified clowns. Just when you thought they couldn't get any worse. This map, like all the other maps before, from Ascension to now, this has an Easter egg. But the boss fights in this game are really kind of cool because each game has a boss fight specifically themed to the map. This boss fight is an alien. Yes. There's a UFO and an alien and all that stuff. After you defeat the alien, you get what is called a soul key. This is for story purposes for later. After you defeat the map, you get to play as a special character. And we'll come back to the special characters for this map later. But I'm going to preface this now. There's 2. But there's one now. The only one that is currently unlocked is David Hasselhoff, who is the DJ on this map. And a playable character. You have to have a special code. I don't know the code, but you can play as David Hasselhoff. It's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. There's also an interactive tour on this map that you can interact with at spawn. The rating I would give this map is a 10 out of 10. I have no issues with this map. This is one of my favorite Infinite Warfare maps. You'll see later that there are some Infinite Warfare maps that are dog shit. And rightfully so. The final thoughts I would give this is on this map. Well, it was a good start to this game. And hopefully the maps get better. They won't, will they?
You're goddamn right.
The next map in today's lineup is Rave in the Redwoods. This is where I start to have to recall from memory as much as I can. This takes place in a 1990s rave in the woods, hence the name. Willard Wyler, if you don't know, our fun little announcer, is sending us to these places, teleporting us there, all that shit. So we teleported from Spaceland to Rave. Well, each one of the characters gets a different aesthetic based on the, I guess, theme of the map. Each map starts out differently than, like, the previous map. So, I do believe in Spaceland you start with a gun. I do believe in Rave you start with a melee weapon. Yeah. And you can actually pick up different melee weapons and use it until you can actually buy a gun, which is cool. It's fucking dope. One of my favorites. Favorite parts about this map. There is totems around the map that you can insert coins that you pick up, and you can get different, like... Basically, it's like the vending machines from Spaceland, which I forgot to mention in Spaceland, but yeah. It's like the vending machines in Spaceland where you can insert in the tokens and get, like, lethal abilities and shit, like traps and shit. It's like that, but instead of vending machines, it's totems. The same perk layout from Zombies in Spaceland comes back, so nothing changes there. Again, there will be 2 more perks added, it's just, we're going to get to those. The special round for this map are Sasquatch. Again, each special round themes to the different themes of the maps. So, you know, yeah. So the boss fight is named the Slasher, which if you play the map, you know who the Slasher is. So, after you defeat the Slasher and get the second soul key, yes, every single boss fight ends with getting soul keys. You get to play as Kevin Smith, who is a comic book reviewer. He's more famously known as Silent Bob from Jay and Silent Bob. So, you know, if you'll recognize him. The rating I would give this map is a... I also give it a 10. It's another one of my favorites. Unfortunately, and these are my final thoughts, unfortunately, it's only going to go downhill from here. Yay. The next map, and what I could describe as kind of the mid of Infinite Warfare Zombies, before it tanks downhill, is Shaolin Shuffle. This takes place in the 1960s. No, 70s. My bad. Oopsie pipsy. My bad. But this takes place in the 1970s New York. And you get kung fu powers. Yes. You get kung fu powers. You also can have the ability to wield a katana and nunchucks, throwing stars. It's cool as fuck. It's kind of those parts are cool. The fucking special rounds is what dicks this map mid for me. The special rounds in this map are rollerblading ninja zombies that can dodge your shit and explode. Fucking kill me. The new perk that is added with the perk lineup of Infinite Warfare Zombies, which I must mention, there is a 5 perk limit in this game. Yes, one of the first few games, if I'm not mistaken, to have more than 4 perks be able to be used. So, yeah. The perk that is added into this map is Deadeye Dewdrops, which is Deadshot, essentially. So that's 11 perks. So basically you have your 10 from Zombies in Spaceland to now, and then Deadeye Dewdrops joins the fray, and will continue for the rest of this game's life cycle. The boss fight for this map is named the Rat King, who, the backstory of this map, former billionaire taking a unknown drug, rats climb on him, he becomes the Rat King. That is literally the boss fight.
What?
This map gets a 6 out of 10. The Kung Fu powers and Pam Grier and all that shit. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, you can play as Pam Grier once you get the Soul Key, but I figured, you know, y'all kind of figured this out at this point. Pam Grier, the Kung Fu powers, the Japanese and ninja weapons and all that stuff. Cool as fuck. Exploding rollerblading zombies and the Rat King can get fucked. But, yeah. Like I said, it's only going to go downhill from here. The next map, and the one, in my opinion, kind of started the downfall of this game mode in this game. Attack of the Radioactive Thing. This is my second least favorite map, only hampered by the last map of this game, which we're going to talk about after this one. Attack of the Radioactive Thing takes place in the 1950s on a beach Laguna thing, and it is by far one of the worst Easter eggs I think I've ever had to experience. Chemistry, kids. Yes, you have to learn basic high school level chemistry for a step. This is so terrible. Fucking Christ. The thing about the themes of this is that they have a special actor, if you haven't noticed. So Zombies in Spaceland was David Hasselhoff, because Knight Rider, 1980s. Raven the Redwoods was Kevin Smith, 1990s. Yeah. Shaolin Shuffle was Pam Grier, 1970s exploitations, blaxploitation films. I can't do that justice. You know, there are a bunch of documentaries on blaxploitation now. I can better explain what it is than I could, because you know, I'm a cracker. This map's special cast is Elvira, which was a 50s and 60s, I guess, horror movie reviewer slash, like, watcher. She had, like, a special show where she would show off full horror movies and then basically make, like, a remark about them after and before. Basically, Turner classic movies, but for horror instead of just regular movies. The special round of this map are weird bipedal frog creatures called Krogs. You heard me correctly. They are called Krogs. Sounds like an Australian racial slur. Yeah, crikey, you fucking Krog. That was the worst Australian accent ever. I will never do it again. I am so sorry. R.I.P. to Steve Irwin. That's not a knife. That's a knife. The boss fight is the radioactive thing. Giant creature comes out of the water. And you defeat it by blowing up a nuke inside its body. It eats a nuke. And then you take the code you get from the Easter egg and you type it in. And yes, if you miss 3 times, it just boots you out and you have to do it again. This fucking map. Abysmal. So, after you get the soul key, you can play as Elbriber. I know, big shocker there. The perk that gets added to this map and will continue for the rest of this game's life cycle, even though literally there's only one more map left, but I digress, is called Change Choose, which acts like another perk we will get to later when we review Black Ops 6 Zombies, kids. Yeah! The rating I would give this map is a 3 out of 10. Elvira, cool as fuck. It's about all that's really good about this. Krogs, radioactive thing, Easter egg, fucking terrible. Never, ever have, don't do that shit ever again. Yeah, the last map we will talk about in this review is one that I have a very, very disdain for. The one that, basically retcons literally everything about Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction mode. But I digress. Welcome to the Beast from the Beyond. Beast from Beyond is a continuation of Ghosts Extinction mode. A mode that I have not played. I need to play and do a review on eventually. This map is terrible. So, you start out by killing the cryptids. You know, the aliens from Extinction. And I mentioned these fuckers back in Advanced Warfare. Yeah, they come back. They come back from Extinction. In order to turn on the power, you have to grab Neil's head. Yes, Neil is a robot in this game. He's from Zombies in Spaceland. And you pop him into the thing, and then the regular zombies will spawn in. All the perks that I have mentioned previously come back into this map. The special round is an amalgamation of cryptids. I fucking love butchering the fuck out of this shit. Cryptids.
Today, Junior!
Ninjas. Sasquatch. Krogs, I do believe, or Sasquatches. And the explosive clowns. Yeah. They're like the clowns are like Michael Jackson. Don't stop till you get enough. But anyway, the boss fight, I guess if you want to call it a boss fight, is the weakest out of the entire lineup of Infinite Warfare Zombies. We have to fight a rhino. Not just any rhino. We have to fight 2 of them, and they're both blue rhinos, which are very durable. Yup. Once you kill both of them and get the soul key, you unlock something called Director's Cut. Now, what is Director's Cut? Well, it is a mode in Infinite Warfare Zombies where you basically go through the entire map cycle again, but this time you start with every single perk and 25,000 points. And you have to beat all the Easter eggs again. And then, and only then, you get to the game's very final boss fight. As Nicolas Cage puts it, Hail Satan! Yes, it's Mephistopheles, aka Satan, who, to this day, is the hardest boss fight to ever do. You will not complete it your first time. And if you do, you're fucking lying. Mephistopheles is a combination of all 5 maps. Once you beat Mephistopheles, you send Willard Wyler into his own movie. And it turns out this entire game has been a complete cycle. Yep. So no matter what the characters did, they are stuck there. Yeah. Gotta love it. The rating I would give this map is a 1 out of 10. It is only saved by Director's Cut and Mephistopheles. Also, the super Easter egg reward is you get to play as Willard Wyler on Spaceland. So you're 2 characters on Spaceland. But, yeah. That was that. Fucking kill me. So what are my final thoughts? Well, I feel like Beast from Beyond. I said The Beyond in that review, but I think it's From Beyond. But I digress. I feel like Beast from Beyond is a sign of things to come in zombies. Literally, it's zombies has never been the same since then. And the next one we will talk about goes back to its Yahtzee roots. I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Yep, the next zombies review is World War II zombies. Which, I have my own opinions about that one, but I digress. When we get to that, you'll understand. But, not the point. Point of the matter is, that was today's video. Tomorrow's video, actually, because it will get posted on Sunday, but today. If you liked what you watch, please subscribe and like and be good people. Thanks. Peace.